Hello, and thanks for watching the next video of Palo Alto video training series. In this video, we're going to talk about monitoring, logging, reporting, and basically how they work. First of all, we just log into our Firewall using the password game. And there is a tab called Monitor. So I'm just going to explain a bit about this tab and how we can basically use this tab and how we can look for things in this tab. So basically, as you can see, there are some traffic logging and threat logging and things like that you can see on this tab. It's pretty self-explained, and you can see that the time, type, zones, in and out zone, source address, destination address, what protocol, whether it's a load or block, and things like that, so you can see in here. So you have a number of options that you can view here. You also have the ability to customize this column, so you can add stuff to it or remove stuff to it as well. You can say destination, camp, country if you want to have it in there as well. So if you can recognize the country, it will basically put it in there if it is a public IP address, obviously. Yeah, there are a number of things that you can add to the columns. The way that it works is if you want to filter based on specific address or detail in there. For example, we want to specifically look for 192.203.230.10 as destination. We just click on this, and you can see add just a filter on the top, and we click on the apply filter button, and you can see that it has filtered all the destinations are 192.203.230.10. If we want to change that to be source, you could just change it manually and just click on apply again. So it will change it the other way. At the moment there is no traffic. So clearing the filter. If you want to apply this source filter, you can just click on it, and as you can see again, address.source, click on apply, and you can see that it will filter all the source addresses 192.168.1.2. Or if you want to, again, just clear the filter. If you want to look for specific user, say this is a user, just click on it, and you can see added the filter. Just apply the filter, and you can see the logs are there. So you can export the logs to CSV file as well if you want to, and use it somewhere else. That's an option. If you don't, if you want to use a filter combination of filters, there are and or options in there. So if you want to use anything on outside with the source address, blah, and destination, so you can see it will add and expression just in the middle. So you will do that, or you could change that to or as well if you want to. So I will give you all those kind of granular detail. There's a magnifying icon in there. If you click on that, it will give you the detail about that particular log. You see that session ID, what is the action, what is the role, and source address, and all those kind of specific details that you might need. Basically, if you want to find out why this policy is why this specific rule is happening and is actually hitting which policy. You could see the rule DNS. You could go to the policies and have a look at the DNS rule and find out which rule it is. So I can just show you in a second. So you see that we have a DNS rule. So looking there, that log is actually an outcome of this rule. So that rule has been hidden. Well, the other tab that we have, well, before we go there, we have we are able to add filters in there as well if we want to, and we could basically choose our filters like that rather than. So one option was to click on the filter that you want. The other option is just click on the add filter and try to basically specify things that you want. So just add that or this and so on. So you can just specify different type of filtering and basically add your filters in there. Same thing, threats. We have our threat logging. So if there is a virus or there is a threat or there is a vulnerability or things like that, so you will see it here. Obviously, we haven't had really any issue in our environment, so you don't see anything here. URL filtering, if you have any specific URL filtering, you could basically have a look here. You can see that there are some categories which has been identified in here, which was blocked when we were testing. Wildfire, if you're using wildfire, and so on. So you could basically look at the alarms and the system logs. System logs are also important ones as well. The reason for that is it will give you a lot of details about the system itself, about how it's working and how it's operational. In case if there is any problem, you could basically look for that problem. If, for example, the authentication method doesn't work, the LDAP server is unavailable, or there is a problem with failover and all those kind of things, you could see it here. Configuration tab is also an important one because it gives you some sort of auditing about who is doing what. So you can see that the last time I have committed a change or changed something, what have I done, and all those kind of things, what the user is doing what. When it will be recorded here, which is quite good. There are some nice maps and stuff in here when you are in a production. If you have basically if your firewall is in production, these threat maps and stuff will show you all the attacks and threats around the world and where they're coming from and where they're going and all those kind of things, which is quite useful as well. Botnet, and if you have any botnet configuration, you could see it in there. So basically it will determine and show you the IP addresses that they are in the botnet database and things like that. So there are some obviously report capabilities with Palo Alto as well. You can see that you could create custom reports if you want to, and you could just email it to different email addresses if you want to. But there are some default reports like user activity reports. So if you just try to create a report, just call it just user report. Username is going to be Pan, and we just say for the last 30 days and run now. It's going to generate a report for that specific user and find out basically what that specific user has done so we haven't really had any activity for that specific user during the time, so it's not going to give us anything. But let's try it for probably another user, and try to generate a report again. See if it gives us anything. And you can see there are some. Okay, no, thought there is really there hasn't been any activity for this particular user. So that's the idea, right? So if you are in a production, we're in a test environment, we don't really have that much activity report and things like that, but you could just go ahead and create and manage custom reports, and we just call it test report, and do it for like 30 days, and we just try different filters. So we basically want to see a report on these filters that we have created, and if you want to basically create a filter here, so these are the columns that will be available on the report. This is the filter. So we pretty much have no application, so it's better to maybe test a traffic report, and we just add some filters to be shown on the report, and run the report. So you can see that once we run the report, it will give us details about obviously the columns that we specify, imported to CSV or PDF, whatever you want. And you can see that we have the report created for us just there, what IP address is and what has been the traffic and things like that. So you have capability of doing all those kind of things yourself if you want to. Now you can create an email scheduler as well, so you can just set up an email address and basically send those reports to the email address that you create. Going back to the custom reports, again you have a lot of flexibility in terms of the database. You can see that you can create application statistics, URL, traffic, thread, and all those kind of different reports. So when you're in a production environment, and you have a lot of traffic, these reports are quite useful. We're working in a test, so we don't really have too much traffic to generate too much reports, but I just showed you a very quick one, which is available. Let's just add a couple of other possibly fields, IP protocol, IP packets, and maybe role, what role, source address, source port, source user if available, and destination address and destination port. So let's just run the report again, quickly export it to PDF, and you can see it will give us a lot of details about what's been going on the network, who's been doing what. So you can create reports based on the traffic, based on security, based on hits, different scenarios. So you could do all those kind of things. I guess we have pretty much covered the reports and how the logging system works. There is an important thing that you need to know if we obviously want to have a central logging system. If we have a syslog server or something like that, then obviously we have to go and within the device that we have to set up a syslog server, call it whatever, just call it a test syslog server, and IP address. We don't really have a syslog server here, but I just want to show you the concept. Once we have created the syslog profile, we can go to the log setting and specify the logs to be sent to the syslog server, test syslog server that just created. So you can say information, low, medium, high, critical logs to be sent to that syslog server, for example. And same as config logs and things like that, you can go to the syslog server. So once you specify that, obviously you will send all the logs to the syslog server, and you will have capability. So that syslog server could be something like a Splunk or SecureWorks or whatever your syslog server can be. And you could obviously use the syslog profile that you created on the roles as well. You could just say that on the role, on the role we want to basically send the logs to a specific syslog server, and basically create a logging profile and say information or critical logs for this specific test log profile for this specific policy or rules. We want to send the logs to syslog server. We want to send information log, critical log, or whatever log you want to the syslog server, and click on OK. And then obviously all of the logs for that particular role will be sent to the syslog server, and you can analyze the logs over there. The logs on monitor section are obviously limited to the disk space that you have on the firewall. They will be rotated, so it's always a good idea to go and create a new syslog server and transfer all of your logs to a syslog server. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. I'll be with you on the next one.